It seems everyone's so quiet.
Yeah, I was going to tell this group to just
I'm
calm,
here, don't worry.
rowdy and loud, you know.
That my cat just stole my chair. I'm not kidding. She literally just straight up stole my chair.
Yeah, I can't even pick up one of mine. She's so fat and she's not nice anymore. So I let her keep the chair if that's where she's at. My husband makes.
As mine is bleeding from her face.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Heather, I see a dog in yours, and what happens if Jessica's cat jumps up and the dog sees it?
No, if you saw my cats roll the roost. They clean each other all night. They lick each other. Even when my one baby cat was like a couple weeks old, she literally used the Mastiff as her jumping ground and would be on his back just jumping around. Like, and he just sits there like, really? So it's the neighbors' cats they don't like so much, but our cats, they're so used to them, they don't.
This is my psycho.
Oh, that's okay. That's like my Smoky girl. She's
a Bengal Savannah.
Yeah, I have no idea what I had to put what they are on their Instagram because I can never remember. All right, today is all about COREpresent. We have literally gone through almost all of the fun aspects within kvCORE, at least the basics, so that we can get playing. So I figured I'd end our little series of trainings with COREpresent. This is a CMA tool. It's really cool. I love it. So we are going to go right in there. And the first thing we're going to do to get in there, because there are a lot of things in the settings to pick your template. What pages do you want to add? You can upload your own, add your testimonials, your logo, all that fun stuff. So the first thing we do to get into COREpresent, to get into our settings, is we're going to go into the marketing. Just click on that full marketing, or you can go right in there. I like to just go ahead, come right in there. We're going to come into COREpresent, and we're going to see that you have settings. If you have not done any of these, have not gone through those steps, this is the first step. Up on this right, you have like your customize your settings, your presentation library, where you can add content, all that fun stuff. You can track results. And of course, definitely feel free. I had to do this a few times, is watch some of the videos, read some of the articles, so that you can really, really, really utilize this tool to your benefit. This is going to be perfect, especially going in as we've kind of gone over how to organize your database. If you have a lot of your past clients, referrals, you know, people that have closed, it's a great way to go into your smart CRM and organize maybe your sphere past clients, those that don't have an address, so that you can go to the tax records, find out what their address is. Then it's going to allow you to make that checklist to send out a CMA a day. So one CMA every single day, just need to get those addresses in there. So first thing we're going to do is come up to the right. We're going to personalize our settings. You actually have 3 different templates to choose from as you're adding in. REMAX has a lot of cool things that you can add in. You get, some are almost the same page, just different designs. And of course, coming over to add your about. So let's come over here to the right side where you have your about me. And when you click on that, you can, your information will pull over. Just copy and paste a little bio and upload a secondary logo if you have it, or something else that you may want. So you get different logos. I have no idea what, you know, it has none, novice, experienced, and seasonal. I am not sure what the difference, because it doesn't change the text or formatting or anything like that. So I'm not 100%, unless if I were to change something on there, I don't know if that's going to change.
I think it's just giving you like helpful hints. So depending on, like, if you put novice, it's giving you a highlight your hustle and knowledge. But if you're experienced, you would highlight something different. If you're seasoned, you would highlight your track record. So I think that's all they're trying to do there, is give you helpful hints on how to write it.
Okay, I was like, because it looks like it should, I don't know, give you different sections, but obviously I just tested that didn't work. So
just ChatGPT it, right? You did a whole class on that.
oh my gosh, ChatGPT is amazing. I had it rewrite my bio. I can do visuals, not so much with the writing. So testimonials, it only lets me add in 3. So add in 3 to be able to fill in this page, but there is a more reviews button. If you are utilizing the testimonials page, you've copied and pasted, you have your Zillow sync, don't send them to Zillow, send them to the testimonial page on your website. That's going to at least, keep everybody on your website. That's what we want. We don't want them going anywhere else unless you have, 200 reviews on Google. I'd send them to Google reviews, but I don't know that I would want to send anybody to Zillow if I don't want to. So definitely send them where it has more reviews, send them to your testimonial page. Yes.
So we have a chat. I think one of our agents is trying to talk, but it's not coming through mumbled because I keep seeing her screen pop up. So she just wanted to know how you got to that page. I think she meant kvCORE in general. So if you just want to kind of go over that one more time real quick.
When you're in your Mac Center, click on kvCORE. We went to marketing and we are in COREpresent. And we are going over our settings, which was over here, customize settings. So from kvCORE, you click on the marketing, we have COREpresent, and we're customizing our settings to be able to add that. And feel free to use the chat. Yeah, it was coming through like a fishbowl. Not sure why. So definitely add your testimonials, copy paste, and then add a link to more reviews because you can send this out. Yes, you can save it as a PDF, but you can also use it as a hyperlink and you'll get a link to be able to email any of those clients, which is pretty cool. And I'm going to show you why as we go through this. So once you get done with that, you're going to save and continue. And now's where you have traditional, modern, and luxury. So definitely go through, you'll be able to see kind of the look and feel that they have. And then this is where I can go over here to the default. You'll see just kind of the blue banner that they have. Then you have, this one's more solid blue. This one also has solid blue. So this one, the top doesn't have the blue. This one has the blue banner. I like this because it kind of gives depth. But you can also, the colors, they're locked by REMAX. I can't change the colors. Fonts, they're locked by REMAX. I can't change that. Logos, you will see you have the REMAX logo. You can add the office logo, your co-branded logo, so you can change all of these logos. So you'll have a box like add logo, you'll click on that, go find it, add it on there, and you can see how it may change. So maybe you want the balloon over here and you want your other logo on this side. You can just, as you upload them, you'll be able to see where they're placed on the template so that you can actually upload it where you want it to. So if I were to X, you're going to see add logo 3, and then I go and find it. So once you get done, then you have the info placement. This is, do you want it on the bottom or do you want your information on the top? So you can choose, I think bottom is kind of traditional maybe, but the top could be different. You get to choose. How do you want that information? So I like the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and save and close. And now you're going to see where you have like seller, why am I the right fit? So this is just kind of giving me a preview of, and I'm on the traditional. So I can come over here, about me. Yes, I want the about me on my presentation. Yes, I want my testimonials on my presentation. Then we come over to value of an agent. So do you want this? I like visuals, it kind of fills it up, gives content, whatnot, the home selling process. And you can toggle these on or off. So you can choose, I don't really like that page. Oh, yes, I like that page. Here's like REMAX trusted #1. Do I want that? I like all the visuals. Brand awareness. So you can see these are kind of fluff pieces. So you can choose whether you want that or not. Yes, I want those. Maybe I don't want those, but I do want these. If you do commercial, you may want to make sure that the commercial's on there, and know that you can change this anytime, but it is nice from day one. If you go through, to be able to customize which look and feel, which presentation you like, which slides are automatically going to be in there. So here's like different commercial, lots of different commercials. So you can add those on there, all that fun stuff. And here, then you get into the collections. Let me come over here. So do I like that? Commitment, leaders.
And I'm going to chime in. I know
Yes.
we have a pretty big demographic of different people that watch the video and are also here. If you guys aren't familiar, the collection is that's the name of the luxury brand for REMAX. And if you have a property, Heather, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think if it's like 2 or is it 2.5 times the average sale value within that kind of neighborhood, it's defined as a collection property or a luxury property.
Yeah, and it's based on zip code. And if you go to the collections tab inside of Max Center and click through many clicks, you can actually find the price range for a particular zip code. I know I have like a cheat sheet link somewhere because it's very hidden, but I know that they were posting that when they just did the luxury conference.
You got, if you qualify, if your property does qualify, it should automatically do it, but if not, always keep an eye out because it's different branding material for the luxury market. So just so if agents are like, what is collection? I mean, commercial speaks for itself, but that's what collection is. It's the luxury, it's the REMAX luxury brand.
Right. So if you do a lot of luxury collection, you may want to make your default presentation have the collection items. And you can see there's a lot of different slides. What makes sense for you? The look and feel, is that what you want? Like, obviously you're in Florida. You probably wouldn't want to use this graphic because it doesn't really, you know, show Florida. So
I think that looks like poor Charlotte right there. I mean, I've never
it's
Oh,
been
it's so
since I've been there.
beautiful.
What did that hurricane do to you guys?
cleared out the whole mountain background. Yeah.
It's crazy.
We're like all the sellers that think our homes are worth $1 million.
Right. Of course. So just different things. If you do luxury and you're using like Lux VT, anything like that, these are just different items that you can add to your default marketing slide, anything like this. So it just completely depends on what you want. Global presence, I do like that. I think there was another one, but this is more of the luxury, so I may be using a different one. So again, just kind of going through. Oh, that's interesting. That's what I use for my landing pages on the staging. Huh. How interesting is that? Showcasing your property, attention to detail, miracle homes. If you're a miracle agent, again, this is specific for the collection. So you just notice the signs in the yard are collections. If you're not a luxury agent, you're not using those collection signs, you may want to use, you know, some of these other slides, but definitely go through what makes sense for you, for what you want to do. There's a lot of different slides that you can use. I love the global reach. Okay, I like this one better than this one. So you see, there's different formats. I don't like the empty space on the right. I like this one. So there's a lot of similar slides. It's just finding what works for you, what your taste is, what you like to do. So maybe I want this, remax.com, giving back. This is the CMN slide I would use, the number slide, snapshot, and nobody sells whatever. What's my home worth? This is going to give you what pages of the CMA do you want. I love the overview. That is literally, you can customize your CMA as much or as little as you want. You can do it in 45 seconds where it'll all be done. It's just a matter of setting up the look and feel that you like, or you can really dive in and make those adjustments and all that just like you would in the MLS. I love the big picture scale. This even has a heat map. It's interactive if you send it via like a hyperlink. And it's awesome because it actually shows you a heat map of what's important to them, where their mouse is going on there. It's awesome. I love all of these different items that they do give. Then you come over to marketing analysis, market overview. So you can tell if you have like an emotional seller, they're going to be clicking and looking at all the photos of the listings. If you're analytical engineer, they're going to be looking at all the data points. And it's great when you do send it out via a link, because when you have that heat map, you can literally see what pages are important to them, which is only going to help you when it comes to reaching out, following up, to be able to pick a conversation that matches what's important to them. You don't have to say, hey, I know you spent 10 minutes on this page. What else do you want to know? Use it to your advantage. You don't have to tell them, very big brother, that you know what they're doing, but it is nice to be able to know what's important to them. So you can say, hey, did you see your neighbor listed their property for X, blah, blah, blah. Of course, you know it because you can see that they spent a ton of time looking at all the photos, but you don't have to tell them that. But it gives you a great follow-up conversation because you know what's important to them. Then, of course, you have marketing buyer. Again, tons of different information that you can be adding. Just know that as you're going through, oh, they just updated this because this was Megaphone. So they just changed these since like last week. And then closing and next steps. You can turn this on and literally add a link to a contract. Like, are you ready to get started or you need more time? So this is a link that you can add in here. So maybe it's, if you use Calendly, it goes to Calendly. Maybe you have a pre-done listing contract, you could put that in there. I don't know that I would go that far. I would probably do more of like a Calendly link so that they can schedule a time to do that listing appointment. But you can add that and change in the links. So then once you get done, save and continue. Go through, and I would at least go through, see what each template looks like, to see which one you like. I think I do like the traditional, maybe because her colors are blue and I like blue versus red. So you can see just the little difference. This has a lot of red in it. So if your branding has a lot of red, you're probably going to like this. It's all the same content. It's just going to be a little different as far as that layout goes. And then, of course, if you are into luxury, you will want this one. Or if your branding is navy blue, you may want this as well. So you can see the difference, and the look and feel is very much more of that luxury collection look. And maybe you want to set this up so that you can have this pre-done. So when you do have a listing presentation coming up or something like that, and it's a luxury property, then you can immediately, this will already be done. You just go in, I want to choose the collection, add in the address, boom, it's done. So you don't have to go through so many agents. It's kind of crazy. Wait till the very last minute and they'll be like, oh, Heather, I have an appointment in 2 hours. I need a presentation done. It's like, seriously, like, do this now so you don't have to worry about it. You're just going to go pick the template you want. What kind of property is it? And then you add in the address and you're done. Don't come to me and say, oh, I have an hour to get everything done and, full attention on call because you haven't gone through. So again, this is just the same slides. They're all just going to have a different look and feel. It's going to be more of that collection look on this one. So once you get done going through all the slides you like, again, save and continue. That way it is all done. So is that pretty cool? All that fun stuff? So let me come back over. Let me go back here. I've done a couple. I just wanted to kind of show you. You can do these presentations and you see I have just a couple addresses. Here is the web link. You can download it as a PDF. You can email it. And here's where you can see the analytics. So I can see how long, what time, what page views they're on, how long. And here's like that big picture. I can literally see what they're doing with their mouse. It's all based on a heat map, just kind of like those thunderstorms that come in every afternoon. You can see what's important to them. You can see which property they spent the most time on. It's very cool. It's very big brother, but it works to your benefit. I can also come here, page views, all that fun stuff. So I really like being able to see all these heat maps. I mean, it's just kind of cool. What's important to them? Let's see. Any
So,
others that have that? Yes.
Heather, I do have a couple comments on one part of it, but the question I guess I have is when it comes to the actual, like this is your presentation, when it comes to putting in the market analysis itself, where you're comparing properties and you're coming up with the values, where was that element in this in here, or is that done somewhere else, or am I
That's
missing?
kind of what I was wondering.
So what you're gonna do right?
I think you're, because you were with Stellar, so you know the Cloud CMA product. And in Cloud CMA, you could either just pull random properties where you select the properties you want to use, and then you could do changes based on almost like an appraiser's approach, change based on
Right,
different.
and you can and you do the same thing in here.
Okay,
So
all right.
so what we're gonna go ahead and do is, so we have all the settings,
Mhm.
and now we're gonna go ahead and create one for a listing. You can do win the offer, create one for a buyer, all of that fun stuff as well. But we're gonna go ahead and create one for a seller. I'm gonna put in an address, and I have to remember what account I'm in. Let's see. There we go. And it'll have there. You click next. And you just want to kind of verify the, the information that's pulling over. I know my house in Florida, I have no idea why it said it was a 3-bedroom, but it was a 4-bedroom with an office. It was just crazy. All right. So if you want to just, well, I would always say go to the comparable details, because it's going to allow you to manually, it has auto where it pulls all that in. So that should be very similar to what you have with the Cloud CMA, because it'll have, the satellite. I can, zoom in. I can go to property type, to make sure it's only single family, or if it's a condo, do that. Year built. So if I wanted to change the date range, I could do that. Change the date. This is going 6 months is the default. So with low inventory, if it's a subdivision or something, some areas are harder than others. And you guys have had a crazy, very weird year. So you may need to expand that a little bit just to try to be able to pick and choose which ones you want. Completely up to you. Bedroom count, it's showing the same ones. Square footage. So this is where you can kind of adjust, but you can see it's doing like 20% higher low to pull that in automatically using the same bedrooms and going 6 months out for the close dates.
Can you hear me yet?
There you are.
Now, there you are.
Thank you so much. Listen, I have a question. Say I want to go in and do a CMA. Do I have to fill out all that on the other stuff before I start my CMA?
Otherwise, you won't have much information.
Okay.
I mean, you can, but you won't have your testimonials, your about you, any branding, or any of the REMAX slides. So it'll be very, very, very basic. So for me, I would highly recommend going into COREpresent, setting up the template that you like, having the slides you want. That way, now all we have to do is inside of your smart CRM or separately, you can easily, with a couple clicks, and I'll show you that when we're done with this, be able to easily send out a CMA because everything's already done.
Okay, one more question. How did you get into where it says build your CMA?
I just went to create new CMA. So I just went, when I was on COREpresent, where we just went
Win the
over our
listing.
settings,
Yeah.
I clicked on win the listing.
Oh, win the listing. Okay.
Yep. And that's create for seller. So, and then I put in an address.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So if you wanted to, if it is acreage, farm, something like that, you may want to add in the lot size, over X amount of acreage or something like that. Or you may want to make sure to enter MLS IDs. This is if you have, the in-laws, the cousins that are all saying, mentioning this particular house. Maybe you want to add that in just so they can see the difference on, different properties or whatnot. So you can go through any of that part. And if I go to manual, this is me having to manually add in the CMAs. And this is where definitely play with the different, because these are, you know, coming soon. They're all color coded. You have like the actives are green, pending is going to be these like these yellowish orange, and then sold are going to be the red. So it literally tells you how to do that, or you can just manually add in ones that you want. And now I'm going to go ahead and build the CMA.
My recommendation is to take the time to find the ones you want to use spare mouse and put those manual ones in there versus using the automated ones. So that's just my recommendation to all the agents listening, to give the most accurate market analysis. And that way you really know what the information is that you're giving out to the customer.
Okay, so can you look at them one by one still, or like we do
This-
on?
the next step, this is where I can look at them one by one, or on that other step right there, comparable. Let me go to previous. I could click and then remove from comps. So if, it might be easier to, you know, I could add, or it's not even in there. I mean, really, they're only using the comps in that radius. So obviously there's a lot on here. I could change that radius so it wasn't, you know, I could reset 1 mile. Maybe I want it to be less because there's a lot on here. So I could click like, oh, I know that one's not, I'm going to go ahead and remove from comps. So I could click on it there. Or when you go to that next step of build a CMA, it's all about you, whether you know the area, want to look at the map, or you can see it here. And this is basically letting us know like the total price and being able to look at it in this way. So we have like the trends, how do I want those? And this is definitely like going more into advanced where you can compensate and all of that kind of stuff, the different features, highest price, lowest price. I mean, there's a lot of information that you can go through. It's just a matter of how quick or how accurate you want those to be. Maybe you want it to be price per square foot or just the price in general. Or you could, let's see, the agent price. So you could add in your own prices or range it, I guess. Let's see, remove. Oh, interesting. Yeah, again, it's a matter of playing with which ones are going to help you. This is showing, that seems crazy. Oh, my Lord.
Well, and I'll float this out there. So if you guys are using this as a way just to touch base with customers, so say you got a past customer and you're just going to send them a general CMA just so they're aware of what's going on to maybe trigger a phone call, but not an actual formal listing appointment, you would use more of the auto create so that you can make the entire presentation of CMA in less than probably 20 minutes. Where if you're actually going on a formal listing appointment, you're going to really want to probably get specific to narrowing it down to just a certain amount of properties. So that's just kind of my piece of advice I'm going to give to you guys, depending how you're going to use it, because you use it in both ways. You can use this when you're going on a formal listing appointment, but you can also use it as just kind of a general, a touch point for your customers.
Right, because like I
Family,
see this
anybody.
one, as I'm going over here, I can click on them and I can see like, okay, this one's completely redone. There's been no modifications on the address I put in. So obviously that would not be a good comp. I saw a pool home. That would not be a very good comp at all because they don't have a pool. So it's just, you can go through all of these homes. These are closed to decide, oh, well, this one completely doesn't make sense. Maybe I need to go back in, you know, and change so the features do not have a pool. Just because I can just see here, these are all like brand new homes. Maybe I need to adjust. This was built in 2022, not a good comp for something that was built in 86 and has zero anything done, you know, and it's very grandma-ish of a house. So I can go through and like, okay, no. Or maybe that's going to prompt me to go back and really adjust those dates because I don't need new construction. I don't need pools to be pulling up on that. So as you play, you're going to say, okay, maybe I need to change this or go into the features to make sure that those aren't going to be showing up on the maps. So here's like edit search criteria, year built, So I want it, I definitely, maybe I want it, maybe 95. And, or so maybe 80 to 90. Let's see. And that's going to narrow down all of that bedroom count, square footage. And I know I saw a feature somewhere. Maybe not. I thought I did.
I think it was in the next part, actually.
Okay. I was like, I thought I saw a feature somewhere.
You did. It's a little house in the middle, right there.
Okay. No pool. And I don't need fixer upper, but so that's gonna basically help me figure out. Yes. Thought I heard something. So features, no. And it's not like, it's not saving. Oh, okay, that's saved. All right, so this is gonna allow me to be able to get a more accurate price range. That still seems crazy high, but whatever. So I can go through whatever I want. If I don't like it, I can X out, but it's gonna allow me to see all of these. You know, for the emotional, love seeing all those pictures, they're gonna love all of that. And now I can create a presentation. And this is showing me, I can then go through, if I've already done all this, I don't have to worry about it. So I have my theme is traditional and I already have all the blocks I want. I can adjust in here as well. But if I've already done this, I don't need to do any of that kind of stuff. And if you want the image, you can upload. If you're, you know, you have a photo of their property, you can even upload a photo of their property right there, or you can say no image. I like the web, but you can also go into PDF or mode presentation, single page view, CMA, single page view. I haven't played with those yet. All right, so I want the web, I want to present and share. I like the link because that is what is going to allow me to share a link to be able to see the pages they're looking at. It's a live feed, but I can email it, I can open it, I can add a video link, I could add a net sheet, I could download and print, or I can just copy. And that way I have, I mean, you can even open it so that way you have it. If you have a tablet or something, you can have this ready for your presentation and literally go over the comps themselves. And I mean, it's so hard. You're told when, you know, oh, it's a great, beautiful house, blah, blah, blah. And then you go there, you're like, you know, or they, you know, it's, everybody thinks their house is amazing. So it is nice when you do come over here because you're going to be able to see, oh, this one's brand new. And as you're looking at the properties and you're at the property with the seller, you're able to say, okay, yeah, that one doesn't really apply. It's a lot higher, but it also allows them to see what is closing and what it is closing for. So it can be a, you know, reality check for some. But so you can go through there, grab that, show it there, or you can just grab this, you know, copy that link, email it, email the presentation or anything like that. Now, that's if you're doing it straight through the COREpresent, what I would suggest everyone do, and this is, I know we have gone over organizing your database, and I would say to use the filter, especially for those that have imported past clients, Sphere, anything like that, is to use the filter for closed, you know, Sphere, however you may have labeled them. So I could say close, and I want to see has no primary address or no valuation address. So I want to put no valuation address, and then I'm going to apply filters or save them. And that way, you know, if I can spell valuation. And I want to pin it to the top. This is going to give you your checklist. So basically, and she doesn't have anybody closed in here, you'll have your list of people and you're going to see, especially if you've had them in closed, because you should have everybody in here. go through, you can click on anybody. Let me just find mine. Where am I at? I know I'm in here somewhere. So I can come over here, go to property details, and this is where I want to be able to edit and add that valuation address. So, or primary address. It's weird how they have valuation. So this, you know, either way, whichever you want to use, if you want to use valuation address, their current address, maybe if they moved out of state or out of area, whatnot, it could be your primary address. Up to you when you do that search, just know which one you have. This is going to be nice as you organize this database, but also once you have their addresses, then you can also do a search for no CMA. And what we're going to do as I come back into my name, there I am. As we've gone through the whole client journey, over on this right side, you have search alerts, active campaigns, market reports, COREpresent. So this is going to allow you, once you have those addresses, to go in and send them a presentation. So again, it's just going to open this up. You're going to plug in the address and so I have to fill in the address. Next, email it to them. Then what you're going to do, once you send them that core, you know, your CMA, I want you to label them CMA a day. So that way you'll then be able to save who you have sent a CMA to, who doesn't have a CMA, attach them. That's going to allow you to use these filters up here. So be able to say, okay, let me go over to my filters, all contacts. Once you have the valuation address in here, now I want you to come over to filters, closed, and then contact details. Let's see. The hashtag is not CMA a day. So basically we have our closed people who do not have the hashtag CMA a day. Apply that filter. That's going to allow you to know who does not have a CMA. And I know so many coaches and whatnot, they're always saying, send a CMA to all of your past clients, especially in this crazy market. And it allows you to just send them even an easy one just to be able to reach out to those past clients. This allows you to do that. You're basically giving yourself a checklist who you have not sent a CMA today. But the first thing you have to do is make sure everyone has an address. So we are going to have a little competition, kind of, not really, but something fun. So my homework, because we don't have the next month, I know we've got broker owner, I've got Jeep Fest coming up. August is like a crazy month, but I want for the remaining of August is for you to make sure you've imported anybody that you've closed, depending on if you have Lone Wolf, if you can go search that in your Stellar to be able to add those people inside of your database, mark them as closed. And now I want you to add in their address, and I want you to start sending a CMA a day. Now, if you want to do, 5 in one day, 7 in one day, then your checklist is done. You saw how easy it was to be able to send those to people. So basically it's like 5 to 7 a week is all I'm asking, whether you do it in a day or not. Tag those people with CMA a day. And at the end of August, so when we do our next one, or I'll put it in the newsletter or in the group, I'm going to give a $50 gift card to the person who has the most CMA a day hashtags in their platform.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that cool?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm going to throw out there. So if you're, let's say, first newer to real estate, you don't have a lot of closings, you should still have a sphere and you have neighbors. And so you can start to collect your neighbors' addresses and emails and send them a CMA. You can send out to your sphere. I would say if you're an agent maybe new to our marketplace, but you were doing real estate in another state, you can also add past customers there, because if you're sending them market analysis, that's going to create maybe a conversation where you're going to be able to refer them an agent if they decide they want to sell or buy. So don't just feel like if you don't have past customers that were buyers, which now become sellers, that you don't have people you can't send this out to and reach to. And my recommendation is send it to yourself first, understand what it looks like, and then start to do that. But I really, it's a great way to start a conversation with your customers, neighbors, spheres, friends, family, anything, is to send those market analyses out to them and get familiar with it. And this is great practice doing this, so that when you are using this resource to go on listing appointments, you have a really good understanding of the system and the tools for those more formalized appointments.
And this is a buyer one, which I've never played with, but there is a buyer one. So it looks kind of like the same process. So I haven't played with that one.
Well, buyer ones are good. You kind of do that when you're looking to make an offer or give an idea of value. But I want to play with the buyer presentation, because that is something that's probably we've been promoting it for a while. With changes that may be happening in the real estate industry and landscape, it's just good practice to continue to fine tune and create and improve upon your buyer presentation, and start to really get familiar with how to show the value of what you bring to a buyer, and starting to get good about having them do a buyer's agreement. So we're going to talk more about that in the upcoming months, but it may be more crucial in the future than it is now. But at the very least, you need to start having a presentation, so when you have your initial consultation with buyers, you're able to explain to them the benefits of working with you, and it saves you so much time, energy, effort, and emotional roller coaster.
Oh, you mean all these unloyal customers?
Yeah, but the thing is customers.
I'm not salty or anything.
They may not understand it. As agents, if a customer goes to a FSBO or a builder, it may be because they're trying to avoid working with you, but it may be that you never had a conversation with them up front about the value of using you to go to a FSBO or a builder, and letting them know to contact you if they want to meet with one or see one before they do. So it's just good practice for you. It makes you have those conversations in your consultation. But the landscape may change, or you may see that things are, you're finding transactions where the payout may not be sufficient, and you can have an agreement with the buyer, say, listen, I'm going to try to get it from the listing side, but this is what it costs to work with me. And if that doesn't cover my compensation entirely, then you're going to basically pay the difference. And there are agents that are doing that successfully. So it's really good practice till we start working on that. So I'd be curious to see the core presentation when it comes to a buyer's presentation. But that's something that also you guys should be exploring and playing with.
Absolutely, especially because that seems to be the hot topic everywhere right now. So I mean, by being able to be comfortable with COREpresent and the buyer and the seller, I mean, definitely right now we're focused on the seller, but I do these all the time just for me, just to be able to see, I don't know, because I'm nosy or curious or whatnot, but play with it, because then you're going to be ahead of the game with all the talk and all the crazy that's going on right now. But for sure, through the end of August, I want you guys to be using CMA a day. If you're a newer agent, you have email. There are people inside of your email. You can go to the tax records and find out what their address is. I remember when I first got into real estate, I had to get the big old white pages, that it was called a phone book. It was crazy. And that's literally what I did as my memory jogger. Was go through the phone book and remember everybody I went to school with. It's like, as you see a name, oh, I remember this person. And then, but back then.
Now we got Facebook.
Yeah, there was no Facebook back then. There wasn't even internet back then.
Heather, we have a question here.
Yes.
Yeah, so is there a certain amount of pages that you would recommend? I would think the longer it is, they kind of check out after a certain amount of pages. What are your thoughts?
I personally like the data pages that are kind of like what you do. I like the global reference for REMAX. For me, it's like anytime I would do any sort of presentation, like if I'm in person, I get to the goody stuff and the rest is if you're bored and have nothing else to do, you can look at the rest. I like to focus on what's important. I do like the what you do, those pages and the global. Those are for me the most important pages. The rest is a lot of fluff. And you can reorganize the pages as well, like drag and drop so that you can put the CMA pages, you know, your about, testimonials, the CMA group, and then the fluff for REMAX. Like I don't go into all of that. Like, here you go. I want to focus on what's important to them. And I'm just not a big present. It's great for, I think, like a pre-listing presentation to send with kind of like a what to expect. Like, I look forward to meeting you tomorrow at 11. Here's just some, you know, home sales and information that we can discuss, you know, during our meeting tomorrow. So it is nice for them to be able to kind of see what's going on. So that way you can focus on the rapport and the relationship part. And then they already have that data that they can start to then ask you questions about. That's my suggestion, I guess. But yeah, I not about all the pages. I'm not going to go through all the pages. It's more like, yeah, if you're bored, here you go. There's a bunch of other stuff.
Right. I was just thinking maybe 10 versus 25.
Oh, for sure, not 25.
One that's 30 pages long. After the 5, I'm like, I'm done looking at this.
No, I want to get to the nitty gritty. I do like the global presence with REMAX. I do like the kind of like the what you do page, because some people just think you stick a sign in the yard and enter it on the MLS and you don't, and then you're done, right? Yeah, I mean, and that's always been the case. I mean, even when I got my license in 05, when everybody was getting their license and everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna work part-time in real estate and make $1 million a year. And I'm like, yeah, it doesn't work that way.
No.
No, nobody would sit with me and eat lunch by the end of the week because I was giving them the reality checks. Like, no, it doesn't work that way.
I had one more question,
Yes.
going back in regards to, when we're filling out our information, our testimonials and all that. You said we have to manually copy and paste those over from like our Zillow, our realtor.com, or how exactly did we have to manually do it, correct?
Yep. So when I come over to our marketing and to COREpresent, and you come over to that about me, I just copied and pasted. I think there only lets like 3. So see how it just has like add. So I just copy paste into those little blocks right there.
Okay.
And
And
then
then you're
the
just
more
classifying
reviews.
whether it was a buyer, seller, what city it was in. Okay.
I only did that because I copied and pasted from Zillow, and Zillow just gives me weird, funky names. So that's usually when I'm typing and pasting, and most of the time testimonials are on Zillow. I never know if they're a buyer or seller. So for me, and I don't even know if it brings in search engine optimization or not, but I'm like, it has the word buyer, it has the word seller, and it has the city. So anywhere I can add text on a website. So that's just what I do on your testimonials page. And I don't know who these people are. So I just copied and pasted from her Zillow. But make sure you have the more reviews, and then you have the link that goes to the testimonial page on your website versus your Zillow link. Like the last thing I want to do is send anybody over to Zillow to start searching. I'd rather them go onto my website.
Okay.
Heather, I just wanted to personalize your content and uploaded a picture. Now, right to the side there, it says highlight your proven track record. Do you have to write anything in that?
On the about,
Yeah.
that is where I just kind of copied from like the bio that she had.
Okay, so you have to make a bio because I don't have a bio.
You don't? Well, you need to go to ChatGPT and tell it to write you a fantastic bio for a rock star real estate agent, and give them, tell it a couple things about you, like where you service, how long you've been in real estate or whatnot. And then it's going to write you an amazing bio. And if you don't like it, it's too serious, then you can tell it, rewrite it in a fun and energetic tone, or rewrite it in a more professional tone, and see what it does.
if you go to our agent hub and you go to our office Dropbox, there is a, we do have in there like a best parameters and guidelines for writing a bio and an about me. So you can use that to give you ideas of what should or shouldn't be in it. And so that's, that'll help. But yeah, certainly should be working on a bio.
Absolutely. So
And if
it's,
you're new to the industry or the business, your bio should be more focused on you and, you know, telling people where you've lived and stuff like that is nice, because then they might have that personal connection if you lived in a similar place to them, about your family, about your past careers and stuff
Your
like that.
hobbies.
Yeah, I think it's how to write a bio.
It's under the
Right
map.
there, how to write a bio. I just seen it.
oh, was it in the new agent document?
Yeah.
It's the third one down.
How to write a bio.
There
yeah.
we go.
So this gives you kind of like best practices, things to do within it. And we have a recording. I did a whole class on it before. So,
Okay.
yep.
Awesome. Awesome. So there's your bio. You have one. Just got to copy and paste it once you get it done. And let's see. So I'm going to monitor, but of course, you guys know how to be able to find me, whether you want to email, Zoom with me, any of that fun stuff, to be able to reach out if you have any questions. But I do want to see you guys go through, add in contacts, anybody you know, find those addresses, putting in their addresses, and then start doing the CMA a day. And I'm going to be tracking that hashtag. And at the end of August, I will be giving out a $50 gift card. As we figure out what the next class is, definitely let us know any of the questions, hurdles, any of that kind of stuff. Make sure, I know we're working with some on the social. So make sure you're checking out that social media and all that kind of fun stuff, so that we can give feedback, what's going on, since we are in beta. So make sure you guys are using that. And any questions that you guys have on the system itself, so that way we know what classes to prepare for like September or whenever you guys have questions. Does that work?
All right, awesome. Well, thank you. Well, I'm hopefully somebody in this group is looking forward to their $50 gift card. Guys, go and do it. Think outside the box.
I got it written down to do.
All right, and it's a great way to create a conversation just by letting people know what their house is worth. Pretty much everybody wants to know what their house is worth, even if they're not even considering selling for the next 20 years. I know.
I mean, that's why Zillow and Redfin are constantly sending those emails out. What do you know what your house is worth? I read them every time.
I get one from my lender every month.
Ah, see, that's clever. So you guys should be doing that.
I
1,000%.
get one from Credit Karma.
Oh, on
Yeah.
your house?
Yeah. My home equity and whatever. Like, oh yeah, I get notifications from Credit Karma on it.
Oh, interesting. I don't think I get one on my house. I get one on the vehicles and stuff, but
Yep.
that always just makes you want to throw up.
Heather, I do have one quick question.
Yes.
I did book a Zoom to meet with you on August 2nd,
Yes.
regarding what my thought process was last week that I mentioned. So my question being, would it be a better idea for me to go ahead and record my video prior to our Zoom so that we can actually
Do something. Yes, because then we'll be able to upload it to YouTube, get the link, go to YouTube.
Oh yeah, because you're gonna have to help me set up the YouTube and all that fun stuff. So
Yes, and that's easy peasy. But yes, do a couple recordings. You can have them in Dropbox, but that way we can upload them, grab the link, go into REMAX URL shortener, customize it, and then go in there and edit do the campaign.
okay. Sounds good.
Yes. So we'll do all those. I'm going to block a little extra time on that just because that's a lot.
And I am gonna have which I put Carrie on there as well, because she wants to kind of go through the same thing. So I added her to that so we could just do the Zoom together.
Perfect. Perfect. I look forward to it. When I saw it, I was like, oh yeah, fun stuff.
I was like, I'm on it. Let's go. Perfect,
Awesome
thank you.
sauce. Well, I appreciate it. And I want to go see those CMA days. If you have any questions, use that button. It has my email or Zoom. Emails sometimes quicker, but I'm here to help however I can. So reach out if you have any questions as you're going through this, and I can't wait to see what you guys do.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Heather, for your time. Take care and have a good rest of your day.
All right. Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
Bye.
Bye.